built on relationships, focused on people, and rooted in the community. Welcome to the Build Blue podcast. Tune in for weekly episodes featuring guests who are building a better tomorrow. You'll hear inspiring stories from industry leaders, business owners, community partners, and our team members. The Build Blue podcast, where construction comes to life. An Apex Construction Group production.
Welcome to the Build Blue podcast. My name is Jess Blaze with Apex Construction Group, and we are celebrating all week Women in Construction Week, and I am joined by three wonderful women today celebrating Women in Construction Week yourselves, three students in the Construction Management program at MSU. I would love for you each to introduce yourselves.
So I'm Hannah. I'm a fourth year at Mankato, and I'm from Hudson, Wisconsin.
I'm Michaela. I am a senior this year, graduating in May, and I'm from Arlington, Minnesota.
And I'm Hailey Schwieger. I'm a senior in this program from Shakopee, Minnesota.
All right, well, welcome, Hannah, Hailey, and Michaela. Thank you for being here. Let's learn a little bit more about each of you, and then I want to know how you chose construction management as your major.
Yeah, so I chose construction management. I kind of grew up around construction a little bit. My parents owned a house flipping business, and so ever since then I kind of like to watch the process of the physical work of your building or everything being complete. You know, it's not just like you hand your work off to another person. You get to physically see everything that you've been working for get done. So I've kind of always wanted to be in construction, but didn't exactly know it until I found this program, and then I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Very cool.
I think my story is a little bit different from Hailey. I did not grow up really in a construction family. I mean, my dad has a degree, a 2-year degree in CAD and drafting, but he hasn't used it since the recession, so I didn't really grow up around construction. I came to MSU as a marketing major. I kind of explored everything, but I thought, maybe architecture would be cool, but they don't have that at MSU, so someone said, oh, try out construction management, it's similar, so I did, and I stuck with it.
Awesome.
So I actually was in high school, I was part of the STEM Academy at our school, and I did a lot of engineering classes, and I really liked how, the build process and things, and, getting down, from design up to the build. So I actually started out as a civil engineering major at Mankato, and about 2.5 years in, I was deciding, I was like, I don't know if engineering's really for me, so I ended up at the construction management program.
Cool how you all three have really unique backgrounds that brought you to construction management. After graduation, what area of construction are you each hoping to pursue, if you know?
Civil definitely has a little special place in my heart, but I'm always open to the other areas as well.
I'll be working for a general contractor doing commercial work, so that's kind of what I'm getting into, hopefully doing apartment buildings, high-rises, that kind of stuff, office buildings, just a little bit of everything.
Very exciting. And what will your role be?
I'll be a project engineer.
Great.
Yeah, and similarly to Michaela, I'll also be working for a general contractor as a project engineer in the commercial sector, but I'm also interested in residential, just kind of, investment properties on the side, and just kind of the other things that you can do with the degree outside of your full-time job and that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested in every sector.
Definitely, and kind of bringing that house flipping business of your parents and kind of seeing it through full circle. So you guys are all seniors, remind me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're seniors.
And Hannah...
Junior, but I have another one.
Junior-ish, that's right. Okay. So, Hannah, you have not had an internship.
I have. This past summer, I was working for a subcontractor, and we were on the light rail extension.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And how did that go?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Was it?
Yes. It was such a big project, so you got to meet so many different people from different companies, and it was really cool to see how such a big project like that works together, and how every little aspect, you can have such a different job from the person next to you, but you're all working on one piece.
That is very intriguing. And tell me about your internships.
So I worked for the same general contractor that I'm going back to. It was actually, this internship was my first job in the construction industry. So there's definitely a learning curve that, I'm still going to be getting used to getting into my full-time role, but I worked on a pretty large building, a 34-story residential tower, and then a 14-story office tower connected to that. So it was a huge project for me, and, coming from feeling like I know very little to coming back here where I'm like, I tell people it's like I'm wearing glasses for the first time, like I can actually hear and understand what everyone's talking about in the class. So it was a really awesome experience for me.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, and being from Shakopee, we have a program in high school actually, so my internship experience started in high school, and so I was a little bit younger than most people and came into college with some experience. We had internships at Mystic Lake and Valley Fair, so kind of unique experiences, but those were more business oriented, so I kind of came into college with a more business oriented mind, and then as I started exposing myself to construction, it was like, this is really what sparked my passion, was just seeing everything in person and watching everything get built. It was just so inspiring that it was like, I just need to stay here.
It's cool to hear that you found your path and you're on the way. When women like you share your stories, it encourages other women to pursue jobs in the construction industry. And as we're celebrating Women in Construction Week, what would you say to encourage another woman to consider a career in construction?
I would say it's not as scary as it seems. It's definitely a big, intense job with a bunch of big equipment around, and like Michaela's at a huge high-story building, and you can feel very small, and it's easy to feel small, but there's it's such a great community to be a part of that it's just the best career that you could possibly go into.
Yeah, I would totally agree with Hailey, and there's a lot, you'll find your home here in construction. Everyone has an area they'll feel comfortable with, and it's all about also getting out of your comfort zone too. And there's a lot of resources now. There's different organizations and associations around Minnesota that provide you resources, get you connections.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Hailey and Michaela. I think that coming into it definitely is a little bit intimidating, just because it's definitely still a male-dominated field, but once you find your group, I'm so lucky to meet these girls because I know that they'll continue to support me throughout my career. And I definitely think once you find that group, it makes things feel so much smaller, or not smaller, but it makes it feel so much more comfortable.
Like a family.
Yeah.
How many other women are in the program, if you guys know, or just an estimate?
We have around 27 girls in the program.
That's great.
Right now.
Yeah, we have usually it fluctuates around 20-ish every year, but we have a large class of freshmen and quite a few women in there, so that's really exciting.
There used to be a stigma about women in construction, and I would love to hear each of your kind of ideas, thoughts, perspectives on that.
I definitely have still seen some of it, especially in my classes. There's not particularly in the construction management program, but throughout high school and into college, there's a lot of oh, that's actually a really good idea, when you say something, and then just kind of not wanting to choose your ideas. And but I definitely think that it's more welcoming than it's ever been, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, when I first told my mom I was going to major in construction management, she kind of looked at me and was like, "Are you sure you want to just hang out with those guys all day with all the equipment and all the mud and all the dirt?" And I wasn't even thinking about any of those things because I just, I thought the job sounded cool. So I definitely think that the stigma is going away, which is great because I think right now we have the record, or the most women in construction that we've ever had. So
yeah, and I guess the stigma became clear to me in high school when I was first kind of thinking about construction as a possible career choice. I met with my advisor and went through all the classes, and she's like, there's not really too many girls in those classes, you won't have very many friends. And that was kind of weird for me to hear at first, and I'm like, I don't really care about that because, I'm in sports and I have other it's not really a concern for me, so I don't know why why she had to mention that, but it was just like kind of steered me away from taking those classes then. So I did end up taking a lot more business classes and home ec classes and even some nursing classes, because it was just like, okay, clearly she didn't want me to sign up for those construction classes for a reason. And then so I really wasn't in construction until I hit college, and I was like, I just really don't care. I like this, so I'm going to go for it.
Good for you. The CMSA and the CMWA are two student-run organizations in your program, and you guys do awesome stuff. So let's talk about both organizations and all of your involvement in one or the other or both.
Yeah, so my freshman year, 2019, 2018-ish, or 2019, 2020, was when we first started CMWA. Of course, that's when the pandemic also started, so it was a bad time to start a student group. We got things going, and then all of a sudden all the students left, and then we kind of lost contact. And as a freshman, it was hard for us to keep going because we didn't really know anyone in the program, so it was kind of hard for us to get a roll on things. And it wasn't until CMSA kind of started stepping up, and they kind of started supporting us because they've been around for a lot longer, so they have a better support base. And they were like, hey, you know, like, come to this event, and they kind of started leading the way for us and helping us become a more established organization. And now here we are the last 2 years now that the pandemic has kind of slowed down, and we're back in classrooms, and we're able to get out there and meet more people and do more things. I think our group has grown, and it's done a lot more great things, which I'll let the other girls kind of talk about the things that we do. But
yeah, so we started this group to, you know, encourage women, obviously, in the program, you know, kind of get us a step forward, because, like, going back to the stigma, traditionally we're a step back from everyone, so we kind of wanted to get rid of that. So, and this is also a great way to, well, the CMWA and CMSA too is a great way to, you know, meet other people in your classes, make new friends. I know I've made 2 lifelong friends right here, so.
Yeah, CMSA, like, when I first joined the program, I went to one of the CMSA events because I was a 21-year-old in freshman classes, so it was kind of hard to meet people that were, like, my age, and going to the CMSA events helped me meet them. And then Michaela dragged me to a CMWA meeting. She was like, you're coming, and I was like, okay. So I definitely, like, doing these events and stuff like that has helped me meet all of my friends. And then also, like, we do a lot of networking with CMSA and CMWA, so it helps us meet industry members too, which has really helped kind of get your name out there. So
Yeah, we've all kind of stepped into these leadership roles within the CMWA. Hailey, you know, she's the president, so she kind of leads the way. I'm the vice president, so I've been working alongside her for 2 years, and then we have Hannah, our little president in training.
I was just going to ask what happens next year.
Yeah, definitely we're still going to keep strong next year. Great. So very excited.
What's been your favorite part about your time at MSU so far?
Definitely meeting my friends. Yeah, I definitely, like, I was really hesitant as a freshman coming into MSU, especially during COVID. It was hard because you'd see Zoom and it'd all be black screens with your name on it. Like, no one really had their cameras on either. So it was hard at first to make friends and, like, really enjoy the university. But now that we're back in person, I've really met a good group of girls, and definitely have found my place at MSU.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite part of the people and the opportunities, just campus-wide, I feel like MSU offers so many different, you know, clubs you can join, intramural sports, all that kind of fun stuff. They have a lot of resources that you can use too, and specifically for the construction management department, we've had great fellow students, great professors. We do a lot of interaction with the industry through, like, our industry advisory board and, like, these events that we do with CMSA and CMWA, so having those connections has been really awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely say the community, and in particular the construction management community. I just never realized how close-knit and how really cool it is. I mean, we walk into the teachers' offices and we'll just hang out there like for hours sometimes, just talking to the teachers because they're so cool, and it's just a big family. And I mean, same with students. You can walk down the halls, and since it is a smaller major, you pretty much know everyone, and everyone knows everyone. So, we go out and have dinner after class together, and it's just it's just a big family, and I don't think you could get that in many majors.
Yeah, coming from a civil engineering, there's definitely, I'm sure now that they're very tight-knit, but, when I was still a freshman and sophomore, we were not, and coming into construction management, there's definitely a big shift there, and you can just tell how welcoming they are and how they're excited they are for you to be there.
Mm-hmm. I would echo that as an industry partner. We found that same really welcoming environment when we come to MSU and have the opportunity to talk to you guys or see you at a career fair, and the professors are so cool, and we've had some of them on the podcast, and you guys being willing to come in. So as an industry partner, you can definitely see the bond that you guys have, and just the culture within your major that has been created, and it's pretty cool. Which professor, speaking of professors, has had the biggest impact on each of you, and why?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can pick just one. They've all had an impact on me, and in their own different ways. They're all just so different, and together they make just this unbreakable it's just a great team of people. Even though they all do things a little bit differently, or they all have a different way about going about things, it's just they each leave a lasting impact on every student, and they all care about you, in your future endeavors, and they truly care, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I agree with Hailey. I think Dr. Tommy Kim, shout out to Tommy. I think he is an all-around great guy, great professor. He teaches some tough classes, but he offers a lot of support and a lot of help for those classes. He goes to CMSA and CMWA activities and just, shows up, says, hey, I'm here, I support you guys are doing great things, I'm really proud of you. Also, Tommy has also written a few letter of recommendations for me, for scholarships, so I really appreciate him doing that and all of his kind words.
Tommy makes you think.
He really does.
We found that with our interactions.
Oh, yeah.
He asks great questions, and he really makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Hailey and Michaela. All the professors are super, super great. But when I was still a civil engineering student, Dr. Steven Druschel, he's a civil engineering professor, probably had the biggest impact. He was incredibly supportive when I moved to construction management. He was like, yes, you're going to do awesome. You're going to rock it. You're always welcome back here, but you're going to do so great. And I'm so forever thankful for him for that.
Very cool. How are you guys celebrating Women in Construction Week?
Well, we are doing, there are a bunch of Women in Construction Week events up in the cities, and we're all kind of from that area, so we'll be attending those. And then we're also doing some pretty cool things with CMWA back at campus as well.
Yeah, we're attending a couple of events through NAWIC, the National Association of Women in Construction, their Minnesota Twin Cities location area. So we're going to a couple different speakers around there just to, meet other women in the industry. And then I personally, I'm going to try to take a little time to continue to educate myself, on diversity and inclusion, not just in the construction industry, but also for, just life in general, and not just about women in construction, but other minority groups, people of different religions, different people of color, people of the LGBTQ plus community, try to do my best to understand where everyone's coming from, and everyone offers such unique perspectives. So I just want to take some time to educate myself on that.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm also going to all these events. It's over our spring break at Mankato, which is kind of tough, so we can't necessarily celebrate on campus, but we'll do our best to go up and celebrate with industry up in the cities. And then the following weeks after that, we're going to try to get some industry members down to campus and have a couple events through that, and have our own little MSU WIC week, since everyone will be gone during the actual WIC week.
Yep.
We can make it like WIC month.
Yeah,
and stay that
exactly.
the whole month of March. I know you guys both have jobs starting this spring, I'm assuming. Let's talk about your dream job. It doesn't have to be the job you have, just like long-term, big picture, no limitations. What are your dream jobs? And really, what are you looking for? I always find it so fascinating to talk to people in your generation and just learn about what is important to you guys.
I think that as of in like a 10-year plan, because I really don't know quite what the future holds for me, and I'm very excited to find out, but I want to be a superintendent. I'd like to be out on the job site, and I would definitely want to create a newer culture. Like, there's definitely some older superintendents that are kind of harsh, but it's the way they grew up. I want to be someone that I can, like, people, if they make a mistake, they feel comfortable coming to talk to, and that they aren't totally scared of. So I want to be that type of person, and I definitely, like, want to make the job, like, a little bit more fun, too, as well.
Yeah, I would love to work my way up to like an upper management leadership position, like a project executive or like vice president of some sector of construction at wherever I end up. But I think, yeah, similar to Hannah, making like, because construction right now is changing really quickly. So I think kind of adapting to the changes and working, I feel like we need to like improve on working, I know, like with people more, if that makes sense, kind of understanding where people are coming from, because I feel like traditionally construction is kind of like a hard, like you do what I say, and I feel like it's changing, so I want to be part of that change.
Yeah, I mean, my dream job is similar. I'd like to work my way up to a higher management position, but I'd say something that I definitely look for in a dream job or in my career would be a company that supports not just me but my family, somewhere that I'd like to bring my kids to. And so I'll actually be working at Greystone Construction, and you know, my coworkers will bring their kids in the office, and everyone's kids kind of play together in the room, and they have a root beer machine for them and everything. It's just like having fun with your family is also important, and the company recognizing that you can take the time, like you have your family and you have family time, and then there's work time, and just kind of understanding that people have lives outside of work and incorporating that into the company. Like, I want my kids to feel the same support that I do from my company, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
like,
definitely,
they feel excited.
like, bouncing off of Hailey, like, I think company culture is something that's so important,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, it's definitely something that's finally being talked about in construction as well. Like, they are definitely, like, more respect and, like, more, like, just support, I think, is just something that's really coming up, and I really am excited, so.
Well, you three are very bright young women, and your futures are limitless. And I'm so appreciative that you were willing to take the time and come in and talk to us. Is there anything any of you would like to add about construction, the industry, your generation? The table is yours. The microphone is yours.
I would just say, don't be afraid to try it. Don't let your mom try to talk you out of it. I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't listen to her for once. So yeah, just jump in, try it. There'll be a lot of support. You got support right here in this room. So.
Oh, yeah. And definitely, like, not just, like, in a managerial role. Like, if you're out there and you're a laborer and you're working hard, like, you're such a awesome person, and, like, you're absolutely killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to do that, like, that's absolutely so much respect to you.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you, Apex, for having us out and getting to share our stories. I think that's a huge part of, you know, being an opportunity for us as CMWA members and students, is having people hear our stories and our side of things. It's important, so thank you.
Absolutely. I'm inspired. it was great talking to you. Happy Women in Construction Week, and best of luck to all of you on your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.